Le corresponde subir a la mesa. Sí. Ah, sí. Catherine Lanoë, que nos va a hablar, nos va a llevar al sugerente mundo de los cosméticos en el siglo XVIII en Francia. Cuando quieras.
I apologize because my English is very bad, but I guess the Spanish public will understand my English. First, I would like to thank the organizer of this symposium for inviting me to take part, and in particular, Saga Ezzeddine Rojo. In the midst of researchers and historians specializing in fashion, and in particular in clothing and textile artifacts in France and Spain, I'm going to shed a different light on another category of article, cosmetics, to which I devoted my thesis numerous years ago. By cosmetics, I mean all products intended to apply to the face and hair, or to maintain and beautify them, whether or not they are to be applied visibly in the public space. Today, I'm going to focus in particular on one of these products, red blush, which was increasingly used in 70s and 18th century France. However, I will also be drawing on my more recent work, in particular my latest book on other accessories used to construct appearances, that is to say, fans, wigs, and gloves. In this paper, I would like to question the term fashion used to designate these items from a perspective that draws on anthropology as well as the history of techniques. By the 1770s, what was known as rouge, or sometimes rouge de toilette, had become the object of the huge consumption, which had long since extended well beyond the confines of the court and privileged circles. Evidence of this can be found in numerous archives, not only on the consumption side, but also on the production side. Red was found in many of the capital's boutiques, including those of glove makers, fumers, haberdashers, and fashion merchants, as well as in the wig makers and in the street with street hawking. In 1751, for example, the widow Auvray, a modest perfumer, had a stock of hair powder, combs and brushes, sticks of depilatory wax, packets of patches and toothpicks, as well as 4 cups of rouge, 6 packs of pink. In fact, red can be sold in a variety of galenics form, packaging, and shades, revealing a wide range of uses. In ointment form, it can be sold in earthenware or porcelain cups. As a more or less compact powder, it can be found in packs of boxes, while the first red sticks also appear. But it was also found in the form of pieces or trimmings, that is to say, sold by weight, so that it could be acquired by modest consumers. Analysis of the archives shows that it can be made from a variety of pigments. Some are of animal origin, such as cochineal, which gives carmine red, while others are of plant origin, such as orkanet, rousseau, and saffron. But there are also reds made from mineral and metallic substances, such as lead or mercury sulfide. Although dangerous to health, they produce brilliant colors and are unrivaled in their ability to hold on to the face. Making a fashionable product. It will be the first point of my paper. In 1775, on the street of Paris, the consumer had access to the following printed advertisement. The analysis of this text, the reconstruction of its history, serves as the main basis of the reflection I'm proposing. What can we learn from this print? On the one hand, it was put into circulation by an individual named Sir Colin, who doesn't belong to any category of craftsmen, but presents himself as the author of the rouge végétal, that is to say, as an inventor. This comes as no surprise. First, because the making and selling of rouge was not the exclusive preserve of any profession or trade in 18th century France. Secondly, because for a long time, there had been books of secrets making recipes of this type available to the public to enable them to make rouge at home. Colin is a skillful inventor as he mobilizes multiple guarantees to enhance the value of his products. Firstly, he introduced himself as brevetteur de Sa Majesté, that is to say, the Queen. But he was also well aware of the existence of a scientific institution for the examination of products and technical processes to which inventors could have recourse, the Royal Academy of Science. Thus, in this print, he refers to the examination procedure for his product prior to its release. Investigation of the archives of the Académie des Sciences show that in 1772, Joseph Colin approached the institution and that it launched a chemical expertise procedure which concluded that his rouge was vegetable-based and therefore harmless to health. A few years later, in 1775, overwhelmed by other requests from manufacturers, the Academy launched a major investigation into the reds being made in the capital, led by nothing less than Antoine Laurent de Lavoisier. Samples of the various reds were collected and chemically analyzed. This investigation concluded that the majority of reds sold in the capital belonged to two categories: vegetable reds, whose composition was similar to Colin's, and reds derived from cochineal. On the strength of his read examination, the result of which were forwarded to him, Colin drew up and published this leaflet in which he had the result of the analysis inserted at the end. I would like to make a number of observations based on some reflections by the philosopher Roland Barthes from his book Système de la mode, published in 1967. First of all, it's clear that the product is launched, promoted by several individuals who might fall into Barthes calls the fashion group. First and foremost, of course, is the Queen. In this sense, Colin used the ancient principle of the economy of identification that prevailed in Ancien Régime France. Like in other articles, the product is guaranteed by the conception of a great personage. The latter's rank and value are projected onto the product, and this social guarantee should drive mimetic processes of adoption. This fashion group also includes the inventor himself, who has a perfect knowledge of the cosmetic market and has mobilized all the resources at his disposal to promote the product as a fashion item. He knew that the red would be widely consumed since he was careful to offer it in containers of different prices, even though the chemical composition was always the same. Above all, he was aware of the toxic effect of metallic substances on the skin, eye, nervous system. With the intention of securing consumption to reinforce its broadening, he adopted the formula rouge végétal suggested to him by expert reports and learned scientific nomenclature. In this way, he created a new name, a new terminology, which was subsequently adopted by a multitude of others manufacturers. As Roland Barthes also pointed out, fashion proceeds from a spoken and or written spaces around article. And this is certainly the case with Rouge Végétal, as Colin rhetoric is well oiled. The product is enhanced by certification from the French Academy of Science. And this nominative personal certification discredits all other manufacturers. The product is adapted in a multitude of ways to win over the new consumers, but Colin also used innovative marketing techniques to achieve maximum visibility. He offered home delivery, shipment to the province and to foreign countries. He implemented a depot strategy which various approved craftsmen, furriers, jewelers, fashion merchants, and also wig makers. The latter, who undertake not to sell any red other than Colin's, can distribute leaflets and install a billboard above their store. Botanical red became a fashionable product in the sense that it was part of a real market. Linked to the existence of this market and the logic of competition, the print also highlights the fact that the article itself and its name are part of a broad public sphere in which the product is known, discussed, and evaluated. It is this congruence that also allows to say that the article is fashionable. On the one hand, the product is in phase with a facet of Enlightenment civilization that associates plant and nature, that values herborization, botanical inspiration, and country motif in literature, painting, and also in the handcraft manual manufacture of many fashion items. On the other hand, since saffron red is non-toxic, it is also in line with the representations of a monarchy that must encourage progress and promote growth while ensuring the safety of its subjects' consumption, thanks to learned institutions that guarantee public health. So there is no doubt vegetable red is a trendy product. The question I've been asking for a long time is the following. Doesn't using the term fashion confine historians to the sphere of consumption and commerce and to the rhetoric of advertising and trade? This article can also be understood in other way as object of adornment. Like other historians, it seemed to me that the more encompassing term adornment can be usefully and promisingly exploited. This term, which is more firmly rooted in the perspective of anthropology, provides an opportunity to reintroduce two notions that the term fashion relates to the background, that of the body and that of the aesthetic quest. The term also allows to place reflection on appearance in a long-term perspective and in a wider cultural space. In short, the term adornment invited to consider this article before they are invested with advertising and commercial rhetoric, before they are written, embedded in discourse and representation. Beyond conception, the aim is to understand not only the intention of consumers, but also the manufacturing processes and the functionalities that manufacturers impose on them. Recourse to production source and archives, including handicraft, is essential, particularly account book and post-death inventories. The mobilization of collector items, of course, is an essential and rich avenue that absolutely must be encouraged and deepened through collaboration between historians, curators, and restorers. Thus, it seems that the term fashion is first consubstantially linked to the literary, journalistic, and commercial space that projects onto article in mirror image the constraints of a short temporality, the necessary laws of change, of the ephemeral that don't always or only exist. Above all, craftsman doesn't use the term fashion, often preferring other expression as article of a new genre, of a new taste. Thus, when the Guild of Fashion Merchants was created in France, in Paris, in 1776, the term mode seemed to reflect a normative intention imposed from above. The term was used to bring together a wide variety of products, gesture and skilled, of all which were bound together with the laws of commerce, even though these products and skill had existed for a very long time, developed by several less visible craftsmen or even women working for craftsmen by subcontracting. It's the posteriori recognition of an existing market that makes it possible to name an extraordinarily varied former sector of activity. On the other hand, the use of the term fashion to designate accessories and cosmetics suggests that the manufacture of the article may be the invention of an individual or even a novelty. This idea proves more than questionable when we observe from a technical point of view what goes on in artisan workshops and factories. In this case, and to return to the red, it turns out that in terms of composition and manufacturing methods, Collins red is neither an invention nor even a genuine novelty. On the contrary, its manufacturing process is the same as that identified in an Italian manual of secrets and recipes from the 16th century. What's more, the way in which the pigment is extracted from the saffrons, then precipitated, is the same as that used in L'Art de la teinture des soies, described by Pierre-Joseph Macquer in 1772. An ancient process inscribed, therefore, in a space of open technology. To conclude, over and above temporalities, spaces, sectors of activities and trades, we are witnessing the existence of a community, a technical milieu, in the words of the anthropologist André Leroy-Gourand. All the technicians, whether craftsmen or artists, interact and implement countless cross-disciplinary processes, imitation and transposition to produce articles of fashion or adornment. Thank you very much.